Hello and welcome to the channel and welcome to another Doctor Who reaction. This is season 12 episode 6 and it's called Praxeus. Well, I suppose I can't really start this week's episode without talking about last week's episode. I would normally do that anyway, but yeah, last week's episode had a lot of talking points and every other reactor and reviewer on YouTube has weighed in with their opinions, so I suppose I should weigh in with mine. And we're talking specifically about the Ruth Doctor and Gat and Lee. Lee, yeah, Lee was referenced as being a companion to both Gat and the Ruth Doctor. So I'm just wondering whether Gat is a future incarnation of the Doctor or some secret incarnation of the Doctor, the same as Ruth. When the Doctor analysed her with the sonic screwdriver, she confirmed that Gat was Gallifreyan, but she didn't say Time Lord. Perhaps part of the Celestial Intervention Agency. Okay then, Lee and Gat are out of the way. Dr. Ruth, where does she fit into the current timeline, if indeed she does fit into the current timeline? I can only see 4 points that she could possibly be. Pre-Hartnell. See, I don't think Chibnall's going to go that way, because remember, Chibnall is a fan. Chibnall's been into Doctor Who for as long as we all have. So he's well aware of the continuity, he's well aware of the timeline, and he's not about to go and screw up the lore of Doctor Who. So I don't think Ruth is a pre-Hartnell Doctor. It would contradict so many episodes. It would contradict Twice Upon a Time, where the first Doctor refers to himself as the original. It would contradict Listen, where Clara met a young male Doctor in the barn, and although we have no actual proof that that was the Doctor, we only have Clara's assumption that it was a Doctor. We have a lot of on-screen clues to suggest that, yeah, it was the Doctor, which would mean that if Dr. Ruth fits in there, that would make the first Doctor actually the third Doctor. The little boy, then Dr. Ruth, then William Hartnell. So, yeah, it would also contradict the name of the Doctor, the 3 Doctors, the 5 Doctors, all of which refer to, you know, the current correct order. 1 through 5, 1 through 3. So, yeah, I don't think she's pre-Hartnell. She could be post-Whittaker. She could be the 14th Doctor. And I like that idea more. But that does mean that Jodie is at some point going to go through a memory wipe of some kind, or some sort of traumatic incident that wipes her memory. Also, it's very unusual for an actor to commit to a role 2 years in advance. And remember, Jodie's already been confirmed for season 13. So, unless they're going to do the regeneration in the middle of season 13, which would be nice, I don't see her being a post-Whittaker Doctor. So that leaves 6B. We have seen almost every regeneration, one Doctor into the other, apart from between 2 and 3. We saw the regeneration process start with 2, and then it faded to black, and in the very next episode, John Pertwee emerged from the TARDIS. There is room for a secret regeneration there, especially since the 2 Doctors, which brought back Patrick Troughton against Colin Baker. There is a theory that before the full regeneration of Doctor 2 occurred, he was employed by the Celestial Time Agency to, you know, work for the Time Lords. That explains Patrick Troughton's aging. But I was always under the impression that the two Doctors were supposed to be set sort of in the middle of Patrick Troughton's run, not after it. And the debate only occurred because of the obvious ageing that the actor had gone through. And the fact that Fraser Hines was the only companion, Jamie. Whereas in Patrick Troughton's run, Jamie was never a lone companion, as far as I know. I think he was always with either Ben and Polly or Zoe. I could be wrong about that. But yeah, there is definitely room for a secret regeneration there. The fourth place isn't really worth talking about, and that is that they never got Christopher Eccleston back to do the regeneration scene between John Hurt and himself. So we never really, technically, saw the War Doctor regenerate into 9. But it was implied. I think there was enough, you know, that they merged Christopher Eccleston's eyes and things like that. There was enough in there to assume that the War Doctor regenerated directly into 9. So I don't think there's room for a secret regeneration there either. And that just leads us to alternative timelines and parallel universes, which Chibnall has ruled out. Or at least parallel universes is ruled out. So what about alternative timelines? Now, I was giving it some thought. The Time War. 2 time-travelling enemies battling each other. One wins a battle, the other goes back in time and undoes that. The first goes back even further in time and undoes that. The whole fabric of time suddenly becomes unstable because of this war. What if it became so unstable that just one wrong move, one time meddle would completely break it? And then we have the Doctor both destroying Gallifrey and saving it, with Matt Smith going back and changing his own past and the entire timeline of Gallifrey. And that just broke time completely. Broke the web of time, broke any control that the Time Lords had over time. And that has caused a split where this other Doctor, this Ruth Doctor, is living her own life, her own adventures with a totally different Gallifrey timeline. But they're merging because time's broken. Does that make any sense? There's also the 11-Day Empire, Faction Paradox to consider, that they all might be coming into it. There's the Timeless Child, which could be referring to the Other, and the Looms, and the whole Lung Barrow stuff. That could be part of it. I mean, I would really love Faction Paradox to come into it. The Eternal War. I thought those stories were well worth televising. But at the moment, we have no real idea of where Ruth comes into this, and where that all fits in with the Master destroying Gallifrey because he learned something so terrible. And his words to the Doctor, his last words, everything you know is a lie. Maybe the Doctor doesn't know her own past. Chibnall's definitely weaving a convoluted storyline here, trying to recapture some of the glory days that Moffat and Russell T Davies had. You know, bring back the Master in a sudden shock reveal, something that was tried not so long ago and then got spoiled by the BBC by revealing the reveal before it happened. Chibnall's done the same thing, but he's made it work. He got the reveal and he got the shock and he got the gossip and the talking. Bringing an alternative doctor into the mix, a secret regeneration possibly, the same as Moffat done with the War Doctor. Only with War Doctor it made sense because of the Time War and everything. I'm not sure that Dr. Ruth's explanation is going to end up being as satisfying. And third, fourth, fifthly, whatever, I don't know where I am now, I don't think we're going to get any answers this season. You know, with all the threads, the Timeless Child, the Master, the destruction of Gallifrey, Gat and Lee, not knowing that Gallifrey had been destroyed, what the hell happened, how was the Master even able to get to Gallifrey, considering it's, you know, in a pocket universe. All these answers, especially Dr. Ruth, and why is her TARDIS in the shape of a 1963 police box? Because that was specifically William Hartnell, and in the second episode of The Tribe of Gum, he specifically says, why didn't it change? It should have changed. So he was expecting it to change. So that was the point where the chameleon circuit broke and stuck the TARDIS in the familiar shape. The Ruth Doctor would have had to have gone through that at some point in her life to have the TARDIS be in that shape, even though the Master has actually used a police box before now. Could the chameleon arc that was hiding her Time Lord essence in fact be double-barreled and be hiding another personality even deeper? Could she be a Master? Could she be not the Doctor, maybe? Except she is. We know she is. Because she was credited at the end as the Doctor. It's a difficult one to wrap our head around, and none of us have got any answers. And we all want it to be the Rani, and we all want, you know, our favourite classic stuff to come back again. I'm babbling now. Okay then, I suppose we're going to get on with this episode. Okay, Praxeus. The way I see it, this is either somebody's name, the name of a corporation, or the name of a planet. And I'm wondering which one it is. I'm going to go for they're going to land on a planet and find a corporation called Praxeus Limited or Praxeus Incorporated. And it's going to be another evil corporation episode.
From the depths of the oceans.
Oh, hello. What are you?
The edge of the atmosphere.
Choice to control. We have automatic system failure.
The hell?
You, my friend, are under arrest. You do not have to say anything. Anything you do say may seriously aggravate me.
What are you doing?
Peru? Wow.
Close your eyes. Why? Trust me. You're gonna love this. This is the most beautiful river in the world.
Oh. That is absolutely gorgeous, yes.
Wrecked. I don't know what happened. 3 years ago, this was paradise.
Gabriela, there's no way in hell we're camping here tonight.
Those birds are a little bit too active considering the time of night. Oh God, it's the birds.
What the hell?
Oh.
That's weird.
Hey! Don't touch it. Something's wrong with the birds.
Yeah. Definitely. Oh, well, everyone's separated. They're all...
What are you doing?
picking up a dead bird.
The sky. Trying to find out the reason. Was already inside.
What was already inside, Zach?
No. What's on his hand?
Oh. Oh.
Okay,
It exploded.
so with the understanding, that was pretty alarming. Don't be overly alarmed.
There's a connection between all these things. I just can't see it yet.
Between what things?
A missing submarine.
A missing
tornado
submarine.
off the coast of Madagascar. Birds going haywire in Peru. An active alien tech in Hong Kong. There's also a talking cat in Ontario, but I've ruled him out for now.
Yeah, that's an abandoned hospital, surely. Why would they bring her to an abandoned hospital? More dead birds. Have the birds killed everyone in the hospital?
Tell me that's not her.
He wouldn't know, he's never seen her before. That's her. It's that armour plating growing out of her skin. Okay. And now she's activated, she's going to explode.
I don't think that's alive.
No, right, she's not alive.
But why explode?
Same as Zach on the beach.
Get out. What?
Get out.
Cool.
Oh, they're very protective, aren't they?
You just said that wasn't safe. The situation's changed. Get him out.
Nice one. But who are these aliens?
It's okay. So she.
What's he doing? Whoa, where did he go?
Teleported, obviously.
What did he just do?
It's a teleport station.
We're seriously gonna do this?
Yeah.
Better hurry up then, Yaz. Come on.
Going?
Yeah.
What's the worst?
You've no idea if you can get back again.
Ready? If we're on an alien planet, then what is that?
That's the missing sub. Oh dear. The birds are getting very feisty, aren't they? Oh. He was alright.
Hey Doc, let's get rid of this bird because it really, really smells.
I think we found the missing submarine. Not sure how that got here. Oh, and another thing. The lab in Hong Kong was sending data to 2 locations. One in the middle of the Indian Ocean, but the other is in Madagascar, where you are right now.
One in the middle of the Indian Ocean.
Doctor, did you hear what I said? Yeah. Thanks, Shaz.
Oh, Suki isn't who she says she is.
What's happening?
Who are you?
Where's Shaz?
I was so worried when you turned up, when you took him from Hong Kong. But you've really helped. Got even more answers from you than we did from experimenting on Adam. We call the infection Praxeus. Trust
Oh,
me.
it's
Smart,
infection.
It's relentless. And it knows you're onto it.
Oh, I'm a sucker for a scientist.
Where did she just go?
And well, don't like this at all.
We may potentially have a cure, but we don't know if it works.
Test it on me.
No.
It's got nothing left to lose.
It's too dangerous if we don't do it. You don't have time to argue.
No, you don't really.
No, no way. I'm not gonna let you. It's not your choice to make.
Okay, so
Oh my god.
the virus is turning them into them.
It is an alien construct, but it's not an alien colony.
Then where are we?
A long way below the Indian Ocean.
Oh, right. Oh, in the middle of a
Gyre of plastic pollution.
plastic island.
It's a naturally occurring hotspot where ocean currents trap pollution.
Praxeus devastated my planet. The survivors were assigned to lab ships to find an antidote for the few of us left alive.
Okay, so they're on the same side.
Too.
Cellular mutation is slower for us.
If you're scientists in lab ships, please tell me you didn't bring this infection here deliberately.
They did as a clinical testing.
This breeds in plastic, and this planet is saturated in it.
Oh, it's taken them over already.
It's spreading. How do I stop it? Help me!
No can do. Boom. Why do they explode though?
Count us in. Hi.
Oh, he's got better.
Turns out it worked. Your machine spat this out.
That's the antidote.
Not for Suki, it didn't.
By the way, where the hell are we?
Follow me. What's to do? Autopilot failure. It can't connect.
It's gonna work though, right?
I don't know. It might not. But it's definitely gonna take off. We need to get out of here.
What if it doesn't work?
Too late to fix. Come on.
It'll work.
Spacecraft to blue box, can you hear me?
Oh dear, he stayed behind. What an idiot.
Manual pilot making up for broken autopilot. Any idiot can fly a spaceship, right? Jake, I don't want this. Maybe I do.
Is he going to make it? We've got to hope so.
About to blow!
You can save him, right?
I hate you.
Yes, I can save him. Just if I materialise round him in the millisecond before the ship breaks up.
Nice work, Doc.
What can I say? I'm a romantic.
Okay, so that was Praxeus. Not a planet, not a corporation, not a person, but a virus, a bacterial infection. I'm not entirely sure. This episode was very convoluted, a little bit overly complicated for what it was. I liked it, but I didn't love it. It was average. It was okay. It's hard to ignore the message of this episode. I don't mind Doctor Who being preachy. I've said this before. I didn't mind it in Orphan 55. I didn't mind it in Zygon Invasion. I didn't mind it in Genesis of the Daleks. And to be fair, Doctor Who has always been moralistic. It is true that in the classic era it was a lot more subtle, and Chibnall's approach is more like a sledgehammer, but times are different, and today's problems probably need the sledgehammer approach. We're living in sledgehammer times. Yeah, that's really all I've got to say about this episode, to be fair. I did like, Yaz in this episode. I thought Yaz was used pretty well, and the fact that she went off on her own, she started improvising away from the Doctor, and I like that. I mean, we all scream at the TVs, don't wander off, and as the Doctor always says, don't wander off, but we secretly love it when they do. And she showed great grit and fortitude in taking the initiative in those scenes. Okay, then she needed the Doctor to rescue her, but that's beside the point. She started working things out on her own, using her detective brain. And this is what I've wanted to see from Yaz for a long time, and we're starting to get it in this season. And that's good. Okay then, there is nothing really more to say. It was a very average episode. It was filler. We know it was filler. We had last episode that was full of revelations and much to talk about. And now we're going to get a few average episodes before we build up towards the finale. This is what I think. But yeah, okay. I've no idea what next week's episode has in store, but I'm assuming it's going to be a standalone episode with not too many major revelations. Okay, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Till then, keep well. Bye bye.